Let's go on to part 3, punctuating connecting words. What punctuation marks do you need with prepositions, conjunctions, and other things? So, two clauses connected by a conjunction should always be written as one sentence. If you use a conjunction, write it as one sentence. As a general rule, you should not begin a sentence with and, but, or. You must never begin a sentence with so. Now, you will read it. Certain styles allow this. But as a general rule, don't do it. For example, I had pasta and my wife had fish. One sentence is fine. But two sentences? No, I avoid this. The weather was terrible, so the picnic had to be canceled. One sentence, fine. Two sentences, no. An adverb clause with a conjunction like because can come before or after the main clause. So you can begin a sentence with because. However, both clauses must be in the same sentence. You can't divide it into two sentences. An adverb clause with a conjunction like because can never be a sentence by itself. So with because you have two choices. I opened a window because the room was getting hot. Because the room was getting hot, I opened a window. Both of those are fine, but you cannot ever, under any circumstance, divide it with a period. Period because. No, it cannot happen. So how do you punctuate these connecting words? Coordinating conjunctions connect two equal pieces of information. In most cases, do not put a comma in front of a coordinating conjunction. So I had a cheeseburger and French fries. Two nouns, no comma. I had a cheeseburger, French fries, and a root beer. Three nouns, and there is a comma between cheeseburger and French fries, but that's it. We can have dinner at home or go to a restaurant. Connecting two verbs, verb-object phrases, no connecting word. It's sunny and warm, but a little humid. Two conjunctions connecting three adjectives, no commas. Now, if you have a list with three things, like cheeseburger, French fries, and a root beer, you use a comma instead of the first conjunction, so you don't use the same conjunction twice. Instead of saying, I had a cheeseburger and French fries and a root beer, just use a comma in writing for the first and. You only put a comma before a coordinating conjunction if it's connecting two full clauses. Each clause must have a subject and main verb written. I locked the door, but I forgot to turn out the lights. This case, you must have a comma. Subordinating conjunctions, because, if, when, that large group. Subordinating conjunctions connect two complete clauses. A main clause and an adverb clause. This is the clause with the conjunction. So you should go home if you are feeling sick. If the conjunction is in the middle of the sentence, then do not use a comma. This is a general rule. However, you can change the order. If you are feeling sick, you should go home. If you begin the sentence with the conjunction, then you need a comma in the middle of the sentence. Again, general rules. You can usually change the order of information, but the subordinating conjunction moves with the clause. Transition words. This is a tricky group for students. Transition words are a specific kind of adverb used to connect two clauses. Transition words have the same meaning as prepositions and conjunctions, the same meaning. Like therefore is a transition word. Final exams are starting next week. Therefore, everyone is starting to get nervous. Therefore is basically the same as so. The weather was cold and rainy. Nevertheless, dozens of surfers were enjoying the large storm surf. You could use but instead of nevertheless. Transition words are sometimes 2 or 3 word phrases, like prepositional phrases, but they should be considered one adverb. There was a 3-car accident on the freeway. As a result, many people were late for work today. As a result is a transition word. You could call it a transition phrase, I guess, but as a result works together as one group. There are several programs to broaden students' horizons. For example, students can study abroad for a year. Students can join many international clubs as well. Now we have 2 transition words. For example, at the beginning and as well at the end of another sentence. Transition words don't have to be the first word or phrase. Like other adverbs, transition words are flexible and can be put in several different places in a sentence. My wife doesn't like to watch football or baseball. However, she loves to watch the Olympics and Grand Slam tennis. My wife doesn't like to watch football or baseball. She does, however, love to watch the Olympics and Grand Slam tennis. However is an adverb, so it can move around. Where students often have problems is thinking that because words have basically the same meaning, they're used exactly the same way. It's very important to understand that the same meaning but different parts of speech mean different rules, especially for punctuation. For example, because, since, now that, so, therefore, as a result, consequently. All of these can be used to answer the question why, cause and effect. However, depending on what you choose, that will tell you how to punctuate it. For example, 4 sentences, all about Kevin forgetting his turn signal and retaking the driver's test. The first 2 have because. When because is in the middle, there's no comma. When it's at the beginning, there's a comma in the middle, because it's a subordinating conjunction. When you use so, the organization changes, and because so is a coordinating conjunction, you need a comma as well. So no comma before because, but a comma before so. Therefore is an adverb, so it can only be used between 2 sentences. Period, therefore. Also notice that these transition words very often, usually, should have a comma after. Another one that's commonly mistaken, and, also, and then. And is a conjunction. Also and then are adverbs. So if I connect the information, did my laundry, clean my apartment, with and, one sentence is fine. In fact, I don't even need to repeat I. If I use also, I need a period and a new sentence, and I must repeat the subject as well. And then together is very common. I can use then in the middle of a sentence, but I must also include and with a comma. If I want to use then by itself, it has to be between two sentences with a period. You could also probably argue, maybe put a comma after then. This one is not so necessary, but then comma is fine. And that's it for how to connect information, how to use connecting words. I hope you feel more confident, and I hope this helps you make fewer mistakes when you write. Finish the last exercises, and I'll see you in another lesson. Aloha.